Kennedy.
And I'm Karis.
And welcome to the second episode of Girl Talk No Text. So today, as you can see, we're a little bit more relaxed than usual, but we want to give y'all the raw, honest truth about the topic that we
Yes. So our topic for today, we'll just, like she said, raw, honest truth. It's love, y'all's relationships, likes, anything but to categorize it as. So start with the quote that says, love is giving someone the opportunity to destroy you, but trusting them not to.
And destroy, I think that's a little bit harsh of vocabulary, but, honestly, but being in love with someone, you are giving them all of you. Like, it's no longer about, what do I want? Just me. It's about us now, Literally we become French. It's we this, we that. And I think being in love with someone and loving someone, two different things.
Yes, very much so.
And see, Karis and I are two different, complete people on the spectrum of love.
It's a very long spectrum at that.
Yeah. So I have always been a hopeless romantic.
Disgusting.
I mean, watching love movies, oh my gosh, I want to see what happened, what's going on, I'm going to get married one day, I'm going to have 3 kids, I got their names picked out, everything, just hoping for that fairy tale love story, which I know isn't realistic, but a girl can dream.
And then, I'm the complete opposite. I'm the complete opposite. We all children. It's just more of marriage. Ooh, love. I'm type to see PDA. Y'all could do this at home with no one else knowing. Right. I don't need to see this. Just very, not fond of words like love. Yeah. Just little gag worthy. All
right, so we're gonna start with something simple. Liking somebody or having a crush on somebody.
Yeah.
So, it's inevitable. Everybody's going to like someone. Everybody's going to have a crush on someone. Someday you're going to see somebody
ooh.
Who that? You got to turn around real quick.
Little double check. Oh, okay.
Right, but everybody's going to have a liking someone. I think I liked, the first one I ever liked was in first grade.
Oh, they started early.
I did. And it was and you know what having a crush is, but you really don't. At the time, everybody used to joke about me and this person. Oh, y'all boyfriend, girlfriend. And I'm just okay, whatever. But I didn't really know what that means. Well, what that meant. And now I look back, I'm oh yeah, you definitely liked him. It definitely was okay, you little first grade boyfriend. Just small stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, it's just, I more had crushes than, they had crushes on me. I didn't really have a crush on them, They followed me, and then, again, looking back, but you're at that time, you're ew, no, that wasn't true. Right. But, especially mothers. Oh, that's your mom. Oh, he's really cute. I'm ew. You must like him back. No, I'm deflecting. I'd rather him leave me alone. I guess I've been this way since the beginning. I just I don't want it. Scoot it away. And you look back and you're oh my gosh, it was so obvious. You're a child, so you're just kind of but you're oh, I feel bad now. That was so mean. But I was you don't know what it is at the age, but you. Again, I guess it kind of just speaks to the feelings of it,
Yeah.
At an early age, we have no clue what this means. We just know we feel something towards another person, or another person feels something towards us, and we're just kind of I like it.
Right.
It's a good feeling.
Right.
It's cute.
And girls and guys out there, y'all, let me tell you, not even the scariest thing, but the scariest thing about liking somebody, and when you really know you trapped, is when they text you and you smile at your phone.
Oh my God, no.
That
Don't smile.
Right there, you
oh my God, run, y'all,
you
run.
almost love that person. For you to be sitting by your phone waiting to get this text message, or even worse, giving them a specific ringtone so you know it's them texting you.
Oh, dedicated. I never did that.
I never do that. Okay, I never do that. But I've heard people say oh yeah, I know this such and such because this their ringtone, this their yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But that's when you in a deep hole. You borderline love as that person when you smiling at your phone and getting all googly eyed thinking about them all day.
I feel like love a little bit of a strong word for that feeling.
I said borderline love. You very much like that.
You very much I feel okay. I agree with that one. But no, y'all run. You start smiling at the phone. It's a little too deep.
Don't listen to her. Listen to her. Love is no. Start telling her, right, y'all. Follow your heart. That's all I got.
You hear the hopeless romantic coming out. Follow your heart. Your heart might get broken. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
That's true.
She's all happy, you know. Not so much optimistic. Your heart might get broken. I'm not gonna tell you don't follow it. You know, some good things do come out of it. She's a living example. I'm not.
Okay, wait. Before we even go into that, I want to say disclaimer to our parents, y'all. Y'all know that stuff, but I mean, it's some things that we don't find necessary to tell y'all. And I know a lot of people out there like, you know, I talk to people here and there. I don't tell my parents about everybody because then it's gonna be like, oh, where's such and such at? Oh no, I don't even talk to them no more. And then they're gonna be like, okay, you doing a little bit much. It's like, no, you know, just keep it to yourself. Keep it pushing.
Right.
Like I have only even liked 3 people in my life. Yeah. And that's not that many, honestly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you got crushes, you got crushes. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm like around the same amount, like 2 to 3. Obviously, there's crushes here and there, people who want you, you know, necessarily reciprocate the same feelings. You know? That's the one bad thing about liking and loving. The feeling isn't always reciprocated. And it's okay. I mean, not really, you know, that kind of sucks, but it's okay sometimes, you know, even if it is like you're just like, oh, I'm kind of sad now, or just them, you know, just like, okay, scoot along.
I think one of the most important things is like realizing that you are in a relationship or you like someone because you feel that way. Like, I think it's really important to move at your own pace. Don't be like, well, he said this and I don't know if I feel the same way, but I don't want to make him feel bad, so I'm going to tell him the same thing. Or her, whoever, the person, your partner, the person you're talking to. Don't feel obligated to feel the way that they feel. Follow your own heart. Go at the speed that you feel. Because I know, like, you've talked to people and I'd be like, Karis, you better be with him. Like, he a good one, you got him. But I'm not you. I can't force my feelings and how I want you to feel onto you. I can't project those things onto you because that's not who you want to be with. And I know you've tried it for me for my sake, and it hasn't gone too well. And I'm not taking the blame for that because at the end of the day, you could have said no. But anyway.
Okay. Y'all, it was definitely her fault. I was not even gonna lie. I wasn't gonna give the man the time of day till she said something. You know?
Anyway.
Blame her entirely, you know. Sometimes, y'all, you don't gotta listen to all your homies. You know, they don't know. Like she said, you know. People aren't always in your shoes. At the end of the day, you have to not so much follow your heart, but follow something. Follow your intuition. Right. If your head is telling you, you're like, no, your mind is, you know, your heart is like, well, maybe, you know. You gotta pick which one to choose. You can't rely on other people because at the end of the day, only you're gonna really know that feeling. And I feel like I sound like such a pessimist. And you're not like love, like liking someone. I'm like, we've all been there, you know. We all like people. We all talk to people. I've talked to people. You know, I'm not a complete loser, y'all. I have talked to people. I'm not completely like anti-man, anti-relationship. But at the end of the day, the one thing I can say about it is that when you have that feeling, nothing's gonna deter you. Not one, as much as it should. It definitely, very much, so many red flags should. Nothing's gonna deter you. And if you feel that strongly about someone, at that point you just have to give it a chance. Yeah. Unless it's completely unhealthy. Don't give that chance. But if it is good for your mental and physical health, just go for it.
Yeah, and I think you said, I mean, love is blind. That quote, I mean, that saying is just like the truth. Like, you can ignore so many red flags that's happening and you just be like, well, I really love him or I love her, I love them. But the people outside like, no, this isn't good for you. Like, you better stop. Like, they're going to hurt you. You're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. Stay out of my relationship and leave this as this, you know? And my aunt has always told me, I mean, from as young as I can remember, keep people out of your relationships. And when she says that, she doesn't mean like, oh, you can't celebrate those big moments with your family and friends, but be aware that you tell people certain things, they can use that against your partner, or they could try to be like, you know, remember when he did this, or remember when she did this, remember when this happened, you know, remember all the hurt that they put you through. When y'all have gone through those necessary steps to heal from those things, they will always bring it up. Or they see how you're lacking in the relationship or how they're lacking, and they'll pick up the slack for you, and now that they're that person that you should have been. You know, if that makes sense.
Right.
So keep people at an arm's length. I mean, don't be afraid to, if you like call up your girls like, yo, guess what just happened, like, guess what he just said, guess what she just said, you know, whatever. But also be cautious. Don't just tell your business to everybody, because at the end of the day, it could bite you in the butt.
Right. And just, there's so many things, so many like missteps that you will take when it comes to liking and loving and in relationships, rather not just romantic, but otherwise. You will take a lot of missteps. You might trust that wrong person. You might like that wrong person. Right. It happens sometimes. But at the end of the day, you should feel good. If you're not feeling good, you feel a certain way, you don't follow that, you know? Like, everyone's always like, follow your heart. If your heart's like, yes, and the rest of you is like, I'm exhausted. I am tired of waiting by this phone for 2 weeks. I'm tired of getting, like, the, like, lamest responses. I'm tired of you acting like you don't see me in public, but you call me late. Like, don't do that. Do what's best for you. Especially when it comes to the love aspect. Obviously, I'm not an expert. No. Not even a novice in this category, but you can't go out on a limb and just fully put yourself into that love without first knowing yourself, but especially loving yourself, because you will get lost in other people. I know I do that at least, and sometimes I've done it in friendships. You know, I care so deeply for this person, I kind of lose myself in the friendship just to keep it. But especially when it comes to a relationship like that's that serious, if you're going to sit there enough to say that you love a person and you're going to feel this, you shouldn't get lost and you shouldn't lose yourself. It should be 100% on both sides.
Yeah.
They should be giving, you should be giving. You should be receiving, they should be receiving. And if you are so wrapped up in them, you're going to lose yourself, and then you're just going to sit there and not be able to leave, because you're going to think, oh my God, without them, like, who am I? Like, I can't leave. Like, what?
And I think that kind of goes into, like, Stockholm Syndrome. Like, always feeling that sense of dependency on the other person, because you allow the other person to define who you are. You can't live without them. And I think it's important in a relationship to have that 50-50. You bring something to the table and the other person brings something to the table, and y'all share those things. But I feel like when you are giving your all and the other person is giving nothing, that's when you have to leave. Because now they are depending all on you without feeling like they have to give you anything. So now you're wasting all your time, all your energy, and maybe even all your money. And they just sitting back and enjoying the luxuries while you are out here, you know, giving your all to this person, and you're not receiving anything back. And maybe in those cases when you try to break up with that person, they might guilt trip you into staying with them because they don't know how to fend for themselves. But I think that's when you have to step back and, like you said, find yourself, love yourself, learn to be alone, learn that it's okay to be alone. And when I say alone, I don't mean like lonely, depressed. I mean, honestly, being the best you by yourself, being on your boss tip, honestly, like just doing you, living the life that you're supposed to live. Without having to worry about, oh, is he going to call me? And like, are they thinking about me? Like, do they love me? All this other stuff. Like, be content with you. And if you are in a relationship and you don't feel like that person is giving you at least some of them, they need to be giving you all of them, but at least they're not trying to give you all of them, leave. It's not worth it at all. It's not worth the heartbreak. It's not worth the love that could destroy you. It's not worth all the trials and tribulations that can come with this relationship that are not worth figuring out.
I feel it's definitely easier said than done. Yeah, you know, everything you said, completely over the moon true. Definitely easier said than done, because I know we've probably broken some of those rules many a time, you know. But again, like, and then we're young, you know. We are who we are. We're young, you know, especially females. We might have a little more hormones in us sometimes. But we're teenagers, too. So I'm like, there's all of that. We'll make every mistake in the world. We don't know nothing, y'all. We have no clue. We ain't marrying the person we're talking to or dating tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure some of our, oh my God, this is my high school. It's not. It's not. But at the end of the day, we will make mistakes, and it's okay. Don't think as soon as you make that first mistake, your world is ending. Everything's going to come crumbling down, and no, I can't do it. it's a mistake. You're going to move on, you know. Maybe they are the love of their life. Maybe they aren't the love of your life. There's only one way to find out. You go for it. You figure it out. You learn as you go. You'll get over emotional. You'll feel annoying. They'll be annoying. They be annoying. They really be annoying, you know. Sometimes you're just sitting there like, really? Why do you exist like this? Like, why?
Wow.
And that's like, exactly. But see, even that, you know, if I feel like this annoying, you know, that's maybe something like, but you know, you make mistakes, you misjudge, miscalculate, but just go with it, you know, just go with the flow. There's nothing gigantically wrong. You know, there's no harm in giving something that could be potentially great a chance. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with ending something that could be potentially extremely horrible. You just have to go for it. You make every mistake in the world and then try to figure it out as you go. Then maybe you'll find the one day. Maybe you'll be searching till you're 60. Right. It happens, you know? Right. People get married at like 98. It exists, people. So it's just like, also don't feel like you have to rush it either. That is a big thing for me, as we know. Like, you feel pressure from the outside. Like, I know, like, I was telling you, like, you, and all my other friends and their little and I'm just,
I think that's important. Like, go at your own pace. Like I said earlier, don't look at the next person. Don't look at what they're doing, because they could be at a completely different place in their life. You know, and it's just like, everyone's love story is not your love story. Everything that happens to someone else isn't going to happen to you. And like Kara said, like, don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to give someone your all and then not receive the same thing back. Because I think a lot of women, or a lot of people in general, young people, once they get that first major heartbreak, they're now turned off from everything else. They now don't want to pursue a relationship with anyone else because they're afraid of feeling that feeling again.
So many.
But that heartbreak, and it also doesn't even come from just romantic relationships. It can come from friendships, stuff like that. When you feel that ultimate betrayal, you no longer want to even try to, you know, make a relationship with someone else. You are now so closed off. You have this brick wall up around your emotions because you're afraid of getting hurt. You're afraid of being vulnerable with someone because you know in the past it hasn't done you any well. So I think I'm not no relationship guru at all. Like
you said, we don't know nothing, y'all. We don't know a clue.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you at all like I am this 35-year-old expert. No. 16, been in one relationship in my life, and that's the one I'm currently in. That's it. But I think my major advice to you would be, stay true to you. Don't be afraid to love, and don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid of failure. When I say failure, I don't mean like you're absolutely nothing if your relationship with someone doesn't work out. When I say failure, I mean don't be afraid to give someone your all and them just not appreciate who you are. Because at the end of the day, when you overcome those battles, you will be 10 times greater than you already were. Yeah. You'll be 10 times stronger, you know, and just allow those situations to better you and not break you down.
Yeah, I know I have, like you were saying, the ones who build I have a lot of friends, specifically males mostly. I don't know what it is with y'all fellas. You just get that one female in the world. They ain't never the same, apparently. I mean, like, I get it to a point, but I'm like, they build up these walls, and then as soon as you had that one, and you're just like, ooh, never again. Yeah. I refuse to be hurt. Yeah. But if you do that, you never leave space to feel the same way again. You know, sometimes hurt is good. If you don't feel the feelings, you don't admit that it happened. You don't accept the process of healing. If you don't sit there and be like, oh my God, this is so painful. If you don't cry, if you don't tell someone, if you don't get the closure with that person, you're going to sit there and just be miserable. Yeah. And you're going to make all the people who are trying to now like you and talk to you and love you miserable as well. Now, again, I'm not just calling that fellas out, but it's an observation that is, you know, I've heard a lot of dudes say, nah, because after her, I just said never again. I never sat with love. I would never say love again. Nah, I can't do relationships no more. I can't do that. And I'm just like, y'all, like, who is this
Y'all?
Who is this amazing?
Right.
Like, who are y'all dating? Can I
Right.
meet them? Do they have a brother? Like, they hurt you this bad? But again, like, it's okay to feel that pain. Like, life does go on. And love is meant to hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
It is meant to feel like everything is crashing down. But it's also meant to feel like you're walking on clouds.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that could hold you down. It's a up, it's a down.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The worst and best roller coaster ride you will ever. Six Flags ain't got nothing on this ride,
Right.
y'all.
Right. And I think one of like the last points is that people often have the question of what does it feel like to be in love?
Oh yeah, that's my question. Go ahead and take it away.
Again, I want to put the disclaimer. I'm not an expert. Like, I don't want people
She
to
lied,
think.
y'all. She's such an expert on this
No,
one.
I'm
Continue.
not. I just think that, again, work at your own pace. Like, if they say it before you, don't feel pressure to say it right back, especially if you don't mean it. Because you saying the words, like, you're starting your relationship off with a lie, pretty much. You're telling someone that you feel such a strong action towards them when you really don't. So I think it's just like, when you love someone, you know. When you are in love with someone, let me say, you know. It's like this, ew, this sounds so mushy. It's like this, heart stopping.
Oh, end it. No, we get the point, y'all. You don't need to hear the end of this. We get it. It's corny and it's gross and it's a Lifetime movie of a feeling. Okay.
No, but for real, it's like this heart stopping. Like, wow, I am attached to this person.
Oh, not attached.
Like, it's no longer like, oh yeah, we just dating. Like, it is something casual. But when you bring that love into it, it's just like, okay, if something happens now, I'm going to be 10 times more hurt about it than I would be if we were just casually dating. And I feel like so many people are scared of love because they're scared of the attachment that it brings. Because once you love someone, you have to love all of them. You have to love the good, bad, the ugly, and you feel the sense of, you feel required to stick it out through the hard parts, because everything's not going to be all dandy and sweet. There are going to be rough patches. You guys are going to get into disagreements, into arguments, but communication, I think that's where it comes in, where communication is the key to that. And loving someone doesn't mean it's just a spur of the moment thing. Being in love with someone means that you are willing to put up the effort to go through certain things with this person. And again, as teenagers, there's only so much that we know how to handle. And if you have someone that you can turn to and ask for advice on, go ahead. Especially someone that's an adult and has been in love, I would say go to them, ask them for advice. And, and people say, oh, you too young to know what love is.
Lies.
But I love you, don't I? And I just think it's just like, I don't think you're ever too young to really know what love is. You may be too young to have a mature romantic relationship with someone, but to be in love with someone, I don't think that you can put an age restriction on that. You love someone as best as you know how. Being in love with someone doesn't mean that you are living up to this amazing standard. It means that all the love that you have for this person. You're willing to go to battle, to fight with this person or fight for this person. And not to lose this sense of you, not to say that you need to take everything, all their baggage that they have, but you have to be willing to sort through that baggage. You have to be willing to know what to throw out and what to keep and what to work on. So I think that's the biggest thing, with knowing when you're in love with someone and how to work through those traumatic events.
Be crazy, be loud, be fun, be hurt, be in love, just experience it all and experience it fully. Don't deny yourself any part of it. Like I said, you're young, you will have years. Even if you're not young, you still probably have some years to figure it out. There's no rush, there's no time limit. There's never going to be that one specific person who's just going to come along on this specific date. Just feel it entirely, regret it and be happy with it. Just do what you do. Feel it inside and keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, I think we summed up the love thing pretty well. To close off, we always want to end with a Black History fact or person. And today we want to honor Rosalind Brewer, who will be the next CEO of Walgreens and will be the only current leading person of a Fortune 500 firm. So thank you for being a matriarch and paving the way for young girls like us all around the world.
Yes. And remember, we are the blueprint.
We are the history.
We are the teachers.
We are everything. Again, I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Karis.
And thank you for joining us in this episode of Girl Talk.
No text.
Peace.